Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra, because we are on a Friday. As you can see, we're here in the library. We've got the fire on, and we've got his derpiness has decided that he needs to join the show tonight, don't you, Derps? So, hmm. Anyway, what are we reading? We are still reading. We are coming towards the end of this magnificent Haunted Places of Scotland, second edition. Oh my goodness me. What a book. What an absolute legend of a book. So, what are we drinking tonight? We are from the Beer 52 collection. We've got some Hogs Back, Surrey Farm Brewery, Hazy Indian Pale Ale, Shadow of the Hog. There we go. 5.5% apparently. Let's just read what it says. Hazy IPA, full bodied, smooth drinking IPA, brimming with a medley of aromatic US hops for a complex array of aromas and flavors, with a zesty citrus and vibrant berry burst. Just having a quick look. Hogs Back Brewery. I can't read what that says. Tongham. GU10 1DE England. There we go. Here's the blurb. Our story. We sit beside the famous ancient chalk ridge of West Surrey, the Hogs Back. The first brew at Manor Farm was tea, traditional English ale, in 1992. Fondly known as Tongham tea, after our village, it was an immediate hit and has won many national awards. Since then, we have gone on to brew many award-winning beers. Hops. We are a small family-run business, and in 2014, we honoured the old growing tradition of the Farnham area by planting our own hops. We now have 6,500 plants in the field by the farm. So we have the very freshest hops, grown, picked, dried, and stored just by the brew house. Scan to read more about our sustainable local brewing, or visit us to see the harvest every September. Isn't that brilliant? This is why I like Beer 52. So not quite the full pint, a bit like myself. So there we go. Oh, we haven't even read a story yet, and we've already got a dead soldier. And run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Indeed. We are running dangerously low of the Western Gold tonight, so we might ration that a bit. So what we've dug into for this evening is the Ballycastle chocolate eggs, mini chocolate eggs, flavour country cream. So, do you know what, Derps? I think we should go on with some ghost stories, quite frankly, because I's girt starving, and I can't sit here with you on my lap all evening. So, Meldrum House, not Meldrew, Meldrum, standing in 15 acres of landscaped parkland. Meldrum House is a sprawling mansion with round towers. It incorporates an ancient castle dating from as early as the 13th century, and part of the basement is vaulted. Meldrum was a property of the Meldrum family until about 1450, which is 10 minutes to 3, when it passed to the Seatons, then from 1670 to the Urquharts, then latterly to the Duffs. The house was altered down the centuries, including removing the upper story, and is now used as a hotel and golf club. The house is traditionally believed to be haunted by a green lady who has reputedly been seen many times. Recent reports, however, have her clad in white, or this may be another ghost, and she has been identified by some as Isabella Douglas. Sightings of this apparition have been reported several times, as recently as 1985, when the Bogle reputedly gave a male guest a cold kiss during a thunderstorm. Another sighting was of the apparition walking along an upstairs corridor. It was believed by some that this spectre only appeared to children when they were alone. Afterwards, the children would report that a lady in a white dress had been taking care of them. One account states that the ghost behaves differently when content, moving slowly and serenely, or when angry, when it is much quicker and more chilling, and showing some characteristics of a Graugak. It is also said by some that this bogle, or perhaps another, scratches the chest of men staying in room 3, provided they are from one of 3 families that owned Meldrum, namely Meldrum, Seaton, or Urquhart, although no mention is made of the Duffs in this account. Hotel, telephone number, website. And it's time for a beer, Derps. I'm glad you agree with me. So just trying to see what this hazy, zesty citrus and vibrant berry burst. Well, I'm up for that. Smells lovely. I get the citrus because that's got a bit of sharpness to it. It's very quaffable though. I'm just going to read something here, which was no, I can't remember what it was now. Ancient vaulted castle. The Urquharts. I was going to say the Urquharts. I hope it's not Francis Urquhart from House of Cards. Right, Melgund Castle. Wasn't he the keyboard player in Whitesnake? I don't know. Melgund Castle. An impressive and interesting building, Melgund Castle is an L-plan tower house and hall block, which dates from the 16th century. Although ruinous for a long time, the main part has been restored in recent years. Melgund was held by the Crammons, but the property passed to the Beatons. The castle was built by Cardinal David Beaton, Archbishop of St Andrews and Chancellor of Scotland, and Margaret Ogilvy, mistress or wife they married before he was made a cardinal, and they had 7 children together. There is a panel at Melgund bearing their heraldic shields. Beaton was murdered on the 29th of May 1546 at St Andrews Castle. Also see that entry. Although Marion continued to live here after his murder until she herself died in 1575. She is buried in the Ogilvy aisle at Kinnell Church near Froykham, and is said to haunt Claypot's Castle, although this seems unlikely. See that entry. Beaton himself remained unburied for more than 7 months after his death, preserved in a barrel of brine in one of the vaults of St Andrew's Castle, until he was finally laid to rest in a dunghill. Melgund passed to the Gordon Marquess of Huntley in the 17th century, then to the Maules, the Darth Maules, let's find out, and then to the Murrays, later Murray Kynmons, then to the Elliot Earls of Minto and Viscounts Melgund, whose descendants held it until 1990. Minto Viscounts, that's a biscuit, isn't it? The ghost of Cardinal Beaton reputedly haunts the castle, one of several places his spirit is said to frequent. See Ethy Castle, St Andrews Castle, Balfour House, and Blebo House. No blurb about that at all. I think it's time for another beer. Another beer in the magnificent Rush beer glass. Thank you, viewers Kirsten and Steve in the United States. Cheers, me beers. I think we'll do one more, then we'll have a bump. Mellostane. Mellostane is a magnificent castellated mansion designed by William and Robert Adam and dating from the 18th century. There are fine interiors and a terrace garden, and the house stands in 200 acres of parkland. The lands of Mellerstain are mentioned in 1451, which is 9 minutes to 3, and were held by several families before, in 1642, going to the Baileys. The family were Covenanters and were ruined after the Restoration, although their fortune was restored with the overthrow of James VII. Mellerstain was built for George Bailey of Jerviswood and was home to Lady Grizzel Bailey, née whom, well known for her household book. The property is now owned by the Bailey Hamiltons, Earls of Haddington. Ghostly footsteps have been reported coming from empty rooms, and one story is that a guest woke to find the apparition of a woman wearing a cap leaning over his bed. The manifestations are said to be friendly rather than frightening. I don't know. I think if I woke up and saw the apparition of a woman wearing a cap leaning over my bed, she could be as friendly as you like. I would probably make a mess. Anyway, open Easter weekend, Friday to Monday, useful for next week. And then May, June and September, Sunday, Wednesday and bank holiday Monday. July to August, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday and Thursday. October, Sunday only. Groups other times by appointment. Telephone number, website. What are we up to? No, we're not quite up to the quarter of an hour mark. So cheers, me beers. Oh, that's a very nice beer. Melrose Abbey. An elegant and picturesque ruin, could be me. Melrose Abbey was founded as a Cistercian house by David I about 1136 and was dedicated to the Blessed Virgin Mary. The church is particularly well preserved, while the domestic buildings and the cloister, except for the abbot's house, are very ruinous. The abbey was sacked by the English in 1322, 1385 and 1545. The heart of Robert the Bruce is buried in the nave, as are the remains of Alexander II and Joanna, his wife, as well as many of the powerful Douglas. Sorry, that again. The abbey was sacked by the English in 1322, 1385 and 1545. The heart of Robert the Bruce is buried in the nave, as are the remains of Alexander II and Joanna, his wife, as well as many of the powerful Douglas family. Sir Michael Scott of Balwearie, Sir Michael Scott of Balwearie, the 13th century scholar and reputed warlock, is said to be interred on the south side of the chancel. The area is supposed to radiate unease. The spirit of a monk was reputed to haunt the cloister area. Is his name Harry? Let's find out. This wicked fellow is said to have led a life of violence and sin, despite his vows, and to have become a vampire who returned to his tomb each night after venturing abroad for blood. The monk apparently attacked the abbess of a nearby convent. He was finally laid to rest when another monk waited for him to emerge from the tomb and beheaded him with an axe. Historic Scotland, open all year, daily, closed 25th and 26th December, 1st, 2nd of January. Telephone number, website. Right, that's it. We are a quarter of the way through the show. We are going to have a beer and a bump. So, Slange. Oh, lovely. Oh, that's very sweet. Oh, I don't think I could drink much of that. I think I could drink the whole bottle. But anyway, Melville Castle. Standing in a 50-acre wooded site, Melville Castle is a symmetrical castellated mansion of 3 stories with round corner towers, designed by James Playfair and dating from the 18th century. The mansion replaced an old castle which had been visited by Mary, Queen of Scots. The property took its name from a Norman baron called de Malavilla, or Malavia, in the 12th century, and was held by the Melvilles and later the Rennies, before passing by marriage to Henry Dundas, 1st Viscount Melville. Dundas was a very powerful man in Scotland, and there is a memorial to him in the gardens of St Andrew's Square in Edinburgh. Melville Castle was used as a hotel, but although only abandoned in the 1980s, soon became derelict. In recent years, the building has been restored and became a hotel again. The castle is reputedly haunted by the spirit of possibly Elizabeth Rennie, Dundas's wife, or perhaps another spectre of Mary, Queen of Scots. During renovation, an apparition of a woman was seen to walk through a wall, later found to be a blocked-up door. An apparition is also said to have been witnessed going through the entrance to the library bar. Well, that's a good one. A library bar. I think we should have one here. Anyway, hotel, telephone number. I mean, this place virtually is a library bar anyway. It's a library. We've got drinks on the go. I don't think they let you do this in the British Museum. So anyway, cheers me beers. Oh, lovely. Slange. Oh, lovely. Melville Grange. The farmhouse here is said to be haunted, and the apparition of a girl dressed in white has been reported. The story goes back 700 years, perhaps to the 1330s, to when there was a farm, Grange, here, belonging to Newbattle Abbey. The Grange was used as a rendezvous by a young noble woman, Margaret Heron of nearby Gilmerton, and a monk, is he called Harry? Let's find out, or the abbot from the abbey. The girl's father, Sir John, learned of their dallying and forbade them to meet. The girl met the monk for the last time at the farm to part from him forever, but her father followed her, and when she would not respond to his threats, burnt the Grange down around them, killing them both in the flames. The events are recorded in The Grey Brother, a poem written by Sir Walter Scott. And Margaret is also said to haunt Newbattle Abbey, see that entry, where her apparition is described as a grey lady. Nothing to report on that. Oh, I got itchy nose now. Ah. I think that was the name of a detective character in. I can't remember if it was Godzilla versus Gigan, Godzilla versus Megalon, or the Terror of Mechagodzilla. But there is a Japanese detective, and his name is Itchy Nosy. I remember watching that in my early 20s on a Friday night, being amused by that name, but I was barely out of my teens, so. Oh, the beer burps. 20 minutes and 40 seconds. There we go. Slash. Oh, lovely. Do you know what? We are going to top it up with the Western Gold, but I can see I am going to have to go and buy another bottle of this at some stage. Yeah, that's the dregs of it, but we'll alternate tonight between the Western Gold and the biscuit, the Ballycastle limited edition mini chocolate eggs. Funny I said that, mini chocolate eggs, because the next one is called Meany House, or Many House. Many House, that's M-E-N-I-E. Many House, a two-story Jacobean-style house of about 1840, which is 20 minutes to 7, incorporates an 18th century house at one corner and stands on the site of a 14th or 15th century castle. Meany was long a Meany, I think we'll go for Meany. Meany was long a property of the Forbes family, a prestigious and controversial golf course and holiday complex are to be built here by Donald Trump. Can't get away from that tosser. I mean, that twat. The castle is said to be haunted by a green lady, the bogle of a housemaid who is reported to have been seen in the basement of the old part of the house and is always witnessed wearing a green dress. Accommodation available, Sporting Estate, telephone number, website. It's not a ghost. It's the best ghost ever. It's a terrific ghost. God, I hate that guy. You've got one job. Come on, just. Sorry. What did you do on Friday night? Well, I tuned in to watch Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra, but instead I saw a confused man from Dudley with holes in his head, who is an avowed atheist, making entreaties to a deity. Right, let's have some of the Western Gold honey. So, this is lovely stuff. Oh, we're going to be investing in another bottle of that. Mercat Cross, Edinburgh. It was at Edinburgh's Mercat Cross, parts of which date from the 15th century, that ghostly apparitions are reported to have read the lists of dead at the Battle of Flodden some months before the disastrous battle, or on the eve of 1513, depending on the account. The list began with James IV, then went through the nobles and commoners. This was witnessed by a Richard Lawson, a merchant in the borough, This was witnessed by a Richard Lawson, a merchant in the borough, but the poor man collapsed on hearing his own name and appealed to be spared. If this was a warning, it remained unheeded, as was a similar portent at Linlithgow. James IV led his large army into England and at Flodden was killed, with 15 earls, 70 lords, and hundreds of lairds, as well as 10,000 men. Lawson is said to have survived the battle, despite the portent. The sighting of the apparition of one of the old town guard, a Highlander, with a grey beard, has been reported in Parliament Square, accessible at all times. And that's the thing. Henry Cavill, aka Superman, well, not Superman anymore, doing a reboot of Highlander. I'm on board with that, as long as they keep the music, because you can't do Highlander without the Queen music. So, anyway, cheers, me beers. Was Highlander really 40 years ago? I think it was. Slange. Got a sticky bottom. Is that an insect? Was that an insect stuck to the side of my glass? What are we up to? 26 minutes, right? A couple more, I think, and then half time. Not much to talk about half time, but I can have some snacks. Minard Castle, set in fine countryside on the west side of Loch Fyne. Fine, very good. Minard Castle is a grand baronial mansion which dates from the 18th century, although then the house was known as Knockbuoy and was held by the Campbells. very painful to have your knot buoys held by the Campbells. The building was extended and remodelled with a new castellated front in the mid-19th century. By then, it was a property of the Lloyds, who were related to the former Campbell owners, and they held the property until the 1940s. Minard became a hotel, but was sold to the Geyer family in 1974 and is now a private residence again. The building is said by some to be haunted. Really? In a book called Haunted Places of Scotland, 2nd edition, all that preamble, and then you tell me it may be haunted? A paranormal investigation was undertaken in November 2005 by Paranormal Investigation Scotland. Website address, blah, blah, blah. Oh, goodness me, I've got some fan mail turning up. Let's just read the fan mail. Bear with. Oh, for God's sake. I'm live. I'm live now. That's my friend Judith trying to call me when I'm doing ghost stories. Actually, I'm going to have to send her a picture of me doing ghost stories. So, timing is everything, Judith. Come on. Sorry, folks. This was very rude of me. Right. Let's go. 29 minutes. Right. Okay. Here we go. Mercat Cross, Edinburgh. I want to say Meerkat, but Mercat Cross. Yeah. It was at Edinburgh's Mercat Cross, parts of which date from the 15th century, that ghostly apparitions are reported to have read that. Oh, we've read that one. Right. No, it's a nice short one. Monaultree Hotel, Ballater. Standing on the north bank of the River Dee, the former hotel, a large Tudor-style building of about 1860 and later, was alleged to be haunted. The hotel closed in recent years and the building has been converted into flats. There's nothing more to say about that. I'm just having a quick look to see. Yeah, we'll do it more and then we'll have half time and snacks. So cheers, me beers. Moncrieff Arms, Bridge of Erne. An old hotel here, which is now an elderly people's home, is said to be haunted. Manifestations are alleged to include the sound of footsteps on floorboards, even though areas are carpeted, and the sound of weeping coming from unoccupied areas, thought to be from one of the upstairs passages. In the 1970s, the owner reported finding a bathroom door locked with sounds of someone having a bath, only to find some seconds later that the door was open and nobody was in the room. Okay. And the last one for this part of the show, Monkton Hall House, Musselburgh. Monkton Hall House, Musselburgh. Monkton Hall House, a small symmetrical mansion of 3 stories, appears to date from the 18th century. This was presumably a property of the church at one time, but in the 17th century, the lands were held by the Sharps of Stoney Hill and then by the Earls of Wemyss. One story has the building haunted by the Bogles of monks, all called Harry, let's find out. And another manifestation is said to be the unexplained smell of cooking meat wafting through the building. Just geographical information, nothing of note. Right, here we are. Oh, right, we've got some fan mail. Let's just read the fan mail. Oh, England are playing tonight, aren't they? Let's just have a quick look. Let's just check the score. I'm sure it's a friendly. BBC Sport. Yeah, it's a friendly. They're playing Uruguay. Right, half time. Let's have some snacks. Let's have some Japanese style mix rice snacks. These are delicious, by the way. Lovely. Lovely. Right. For the second part of tonight's show, my last can of Guinness. I've got some more fan mails turning up. Goodness me, I am popular tonight. What to report today? It's been a solid day of work, quite frankly, apart from having a brief intermission this morning to meet up with my friend Sarah to set up a community interest company for our wildlife group, which I gotta say, gov.uk do not make it easy. It was tortuous. I mean, we're relatively intelligent people. Well, she is. I can't speak for myself. It was painful trying to get this blessed thing set up, but we got there in the end. So fingers crossed, our wildlife group may become a community interest company. Got the beer burps again, folks. Do apologise. Oh, sorry about that. Apparently, Roy Hodgson is now the new manager of Bristol City. I'm just going to look this up. Bristol City. Roy Hodgson, Bristol City, appoint ex-England boss as interim head coach. Okay. Let's have some more snacks, shall we? Shall we have some wasabi mix as well? I love these. These have got the... Well, obviously got the wasabi in there, but so having set up a community interest company, or hopefully we have, then I was back home to carry on doing artworking, which I was on the cusp of finishing up to about 5 minutes before Ghost Stories tonight. So I'll be working through the weekend to get that over the finish line, which I don't mind. So I'm looking forward to, it's the weekend, but I'm looking forward to firing up the iMac tomorrow and finishing this project off. And another one. So I'm hoping by Monday to have projects completed. This Guinness, 4.1%. Doesn't really say anything. Brewed in Ireland by Guinness and Company, St James Gate, Dublin, and distributed distributed by Guinness and Company, 16 Great Marlborough Street, Soho, London. W1F, I think it looks like WTF, but W1F 7H5. Anyway, there we go. I was going to go down the shops tonight and buy some more beer. In fact, I was going to go into Aldi and get myself some coffee stout and the chocolate stout. Might do that tomorrow because I do need to get some more bump as well. So here we go. And for the second time tonight, Run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Should have said, "Oh, dead soldier," but yeah, you get the idea. Oh, let's have some more. Oops, Daisy, dropping wasabi mix over the floor here. Not wasabi mix, Japanese rice mix. Oh well, we'll get the dustpan and brush on that tomorrow. So, yeah, we want to get this. It's going to be an early start tomorrow. Get this project over the finish line. Get the next one over the finish line, and then hopefully tomorrow afternoon, some quality workshop time, and opera on Radio 3. So shall I crack on? So I'm still eating snacks here. I do apologise. Montgreenan House. Montgreenan House, dating from 1817, which is about 6:15, replaced an older classical mansion and was designed by Alexander Greek Thompson. The house was built for the Glasgow family, who made their wealth through a shipping company based in the West Indies. The house has been used as a hotel since 1982. One of the rooms of the house is said to be haunted, although the manifestations are reputed to be mischievous rather than frightening. There was apparently a bishop's palace near the house, and the abbot of Kilwinning was shot at the gate of that building in 1591. Hotel website, hotel telephone number website. I do apologise. Oh, cracking one, this one. Cheers, me beers. Oh, lovely. Oh, I'm going to have to go down to Lidl and get some more wasabi mix. I blame my friend Faye. My friend Faye, I blame her. There she is. My friend Faye, she got me into wasabi mix from our trip to the Chinese supermarket in Easton in Bristol. So if you're watching, viewer Faye, that's your fault. This next one, oh, I'm looking forward to this one. Montrose Air Station Museum. Montrose Airfield was established in 1913, making it one of the oldest in the country, and 5 years later was used for training American pilots. In World War II, many others were trained here, including Commonwealth, Polish, Czech, American, Russian, Turkish, and the Free French. The airfield was bombed by German bombers in 1940, and hangars and a mess were destroyed. The airfield was abandoned by the Royal Air Force in 1957. A museum housed in the buildings displays wartime memorabilia, comprising historic photographs, uniforms, mementos, and archive material. Aircraft are also on display, including a Seahawk 131, as well as a Bofors gun, a Commer airfield control van, and Whirlwind XJ723. The aerodrome is said to be haunted. There are several reports of a phantom biplane here, thought to be from a crash which happened soon after the airfield was opened, as well as the sound of an aeroplane being heard over the airfield when no craft are present. Other manifestations include the apparition of an airman in flying gear, again reported several times, and the unexplained sounds of footsteps in and around the buildings, as well as the sound of a door handle rattling. During its time as a vehicle testing centre, doors were also said to open and close by themselves. Open all year, Wednesday to Sunday, parties other times by arrangement, telephone number, website. We're going to look this up in a second. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in June 2004 and in July 2005 by the Ghost Club website address and by Paranormal Research Scotland in 2008. During the Ghost Club investigation, several people heard prolonged knocking towards the end of the session. At first, it was thought that this might be a ghostly manifestation, until it was realized that one of the investigators was missing and had been locked in a toilet sometime before. Shall we look that up? Shall we look up Montrose Airfield and have some more Japanese style rice mix? Right, I see it now. I see what they mean by Seahawk. It is an Armstrong Whitworth Seahawk. Yeah, here we go. Share screen, share screen, share screen. There it is, looking a little bit sorry for itself. That extra dark sea grey isn't looking quite so extra these days, but what a fascinating place. I'd love to go there. Really should organise a road trip with my airplane buddies. I'll just have a quick look to see. Montrose Air Force Base Seahawk. It should be, they wrote it as one word. It should be two words. It's a Hawker Seahawk. Here we go. I think this is the one. No, that's Yeovilton. Montrose. Yeah, here we go. 131. This is the one we're talking about. Yeah, 131. What did you do on Friday night? Well, I tuned in to watch Ghost Stories, but as soon as he started talking about aeroplanes, he suddenly went very Anaraki. And there we go, 131. That was the one we were talking about. Hawker Seahawk, two words, not one word. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked into my interest in aeroplanes, but let's get sidetracked, shall we? Oh, the beer burp's going. We are going to have another. Very nice. Monymusk Castle. Monymusk Castle is a fine and impressive tower house which dates from the 16th century, although parts may be much older. With later additions, the lands were originally owned by the Priory of Monymusk, and the Monymusk Reliquary, a casket containing the relics of Saint Columba, was long kept at the Priory. The reliquary was carried before the Scottish army at Bannockburn in 1314 and is now held in the Museum of Scotland. The lands were held by the Forbes family after the Reformation and then by the Grants from 1711. The castle is said to have several ghosts, one being that of a man reading in the library who would disappear when approached. There are also stories of a grey lady who is alleged to appear from a cupboard in the nursery, check any children present, and then leave. And the phantom of a pale lady who crossed one of the upper rooms and bathroom. Another bogle is reputed to be the party ghost, a red-haired man dressed in kilt, sporran lace shirt and silver button jacket that would apparently barge through party guests and could be later heard laughing, joking and running on the stairs by guests in the upper chambers. Walled garden, garden centre and cafe. Oh, I'm in. Church open all year. Telephone number, website. Oh, let's have some more snacks, shall we? I think we'll finish off the Japanese wasabi. It's not wasabi. Japanese style mixed rice snacks. So, I think we'll go for our third dead soldier tonight. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time. Ha 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 ha. And Run VT. That was a brilliant impression, but there we go. Run VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Moorings Bar, Aberdeen. Located in Trinity Quay by Aberdeen Harbour, the Moorings Bar was established in 1965 and was the first hostelry in Aberdeen to have a jukebox. The bar is reported to be haunted, and strange occurrences have been reported, such as the movement of objects, including chairs, mops, and a knife, taps being mysteriously turned off in the cellar, and doors being held closed, although there is apparently nobody there. The apparition of a man spotted apparently working in the cellar is thought to be that of a Canadian airman called Ted, who was employed at the bar. An unfriendly, disembodied voice has also been reported, which has been linked to the removal of a price list of the 1970s from a wall in the cellar, which is thought to have angered this particular bogle. Public bar, telephone number, website. I think it's fair to say that the unfriendly, disembodied voice, I don't think that's the Canadian airman called Ted. I think he sounds like a friendly sort, but Yeah. Let's have a beer and a bump, shall we? What are we up to? 51 minutes. Oh, we're rapidly coming towards the end of the show. Here comes Derpy. You coming up, Derps? Your eyes are very watery tonight. What have you been up to? Eh? Have you been weeping at the quality of tonight's show? He's sat there on the floor glaring at me. Cheers, me beard. Oh. Oh, lovely. Don't know how to pronounce this one. Morrone, Lodge. Morone Lodge? I want to call it Moron Lodge, but I think it's Morone Lodge. The Lodge, a substantial building with excellent views, was used for team building exercises and outward bound courses, but this has closed and the house has been converted for use as a dwelling. The lodge is said to be haunted, and there are stories that apparitions were seen in the dormitories, described on one occasion as being spotted at the foot of a bed, and described as a tall man in a dark jacket with a large moustache. Unexplained movements and noises were also reported coming from an upper but unoccupied bunk by sleepers in the bed below. Sleepers also record feelings as if they were being forced down into their beds. Other reputed manifestations included unexplained noises, such as footsteps from unoccupied areas, and an uncomfortable and foreboding atmosphere. Nothing to report on that, really. No, just geographical information. Oh, I've got itchy nose tonight. I think we'll finish off the Japanese style rice snacks. Let's get them out. Oh. They are magnificent. Thank you, viewer Faye, for your recommendation. Sounds. Your good health. Right, we're going to have some more of the Bally Castle mini chocolate eggs flavour country cream. But we are going to have to go and buy some more Western Gold honey tomorrow, because that is absolutely delicious. Oh, I've just suddenly realised we still have some Ramadan chocolates to get through. Where did we get to? We got the 22nd, 23rd. Right, so I think we've done the 21st. Yeah, we've done the 21st. So the 22nd. Oh, it's a palm tree. Isn't that lovely? Oh, the beer burps again. Do apologise. And the 23rd is a Gina's lamp. Excellent. The 24th is, I think that's a lantern. Very nice. No, 25th is empty. 26th is a palm tree. There we go. And the 27th is, I think it's another Genius lamp. Oh, what that is. Unidentified shapes, but oh, it might be a crescent moon. Oh no, I see what it is now. It's buildings. There we go. Delicious. Machal's Castle. Machal's Castle, or Muckle's Castle, was built by the Burnets in the early 17th century and is an imposing courtyard castle which incorporates earlier work. The uncrowned James VIII stayed here in 1716 during the Jacobite Rising, although by then the cause was deemed hopeless, and he soon fled back to France. The castle is thought to be haunted by the ghost of a young female servant, a green lady, who is said to have been drowned in a cave used for smuggling at Gin Shore, and a mile from Macalus, which formerly could be reached by an underground stair from the wine cellar. She had been awaiting her lover, one of the crew of a ship, in the cave, but fell into the water and was lost. Her ghost, clad in green gown, has reportedly been seen in one of the rooms, sitting in front of a mirror, arranging her hair. One sighting being in the 1970s when she was spotted in an old-fashioned lime-coloured dress. The ghost faded away when the room was entered. Another sighting, this time in 1906, had the ghost clad in a yellowish frock, although again the phantom was looking in a mirror. The room the ghost was observed in is also said to be especially cold at times. In a third sighting, the then owner saw the ghost cross the former dining room and then disappear into what appeared to be a cupboard. This was, however, later found to be the opening into a secret passage. No, nothing to add to that. No website, no telephone number, nothing. Let's have a beer, shall we? Slange me var. Oh, lovely. And yet again, in the magnificent United Federation of Planet Shot Glass, again, courtesy of viewers Steve and Kirsten in the United States. Cheers, me dears. And here we go, through the hour mark. Oh, lovely. Right. I think the last, how many should we do tonight? Shall we? Actually, we'll clear 2 pages and then that's it. So, Murdeston Castle. Set in 37 acres of grounds, Murdeston Castle is a large house which incorporates an ancient keep and is now used as a hospital. Murdeston was, I've got a name for a hospital, Murdeston. Murdeston was once a property of the Scots, and Sir Michael Scott, heir of Murdeston, fought at the Battle of Halidon Hill in 1333 and was slain at Durham 13 years later. The property passed through other families until, in 1856, was sold to Robert Stewart, Provost of Glasgow, who was responsible for getting Glasgow's water supply from Loch Katrine. Who was responsible for getting Glasgow's water supply from Loch Katrine. Full stop. Murdeston was the first building to have electric light in Scotland. The castle is said to be haunted by a green lady seen in the east dressing room, although it has not apparently been witnessed for many years. Murrow's Castle. Let's have another beer, shall we? what are we up to? Yeah, we're up to 1 hour and 1 hour and 1 minute. Yeah, we're going to end it soon. So, oh, lovely. Murrow's Castle. Built on sloping ground above the Sweet Burn, Murrow's Castle is a fine tower house with a long main block and a centrally projecting round tower with a conical roof. A low-roofed chamber is called the Goblin Hall. Murrow's was a property of the Fotheringhams from the 14th century, although by the end of the 19th century the house had been converted to house farm labourers. The castle was restored in 1942 and is occupied. The castle is said to be haunted by a white lady known as the Lady in White. Lady in White. The unexplained sounds of feasting are said to have been heard coming from the Goblin Hall when nobody is about. Obviously, they're gobbling their food down. Right, I think we'll do this last page. Oh, God, my bloody nose is so itchy. Slide. Museum of Childhood, Edinburgh. Museum of Childhood, Edinburgh. One of the first museums of its kind, the Museum of Childhood was opened in 1986 after major expansion and reorganization. The museum has a fascinating and extensive collection of toys, games, and belongings of children through the ages. The museum, however, is said by some to have been built on the site of a building sealed up during the plague in Edinburgh, trapping women and children inside and leaving them to die. During the night, the sounds of ghostly children weeping are reputed to sometimes be heard. Try it again without the beer hiccups. During the night, the sounds of ghostly children weeping are reputed to sometimes be heard. Open all year daily. Telephone number, website. Right, last for tonight, and then that's it. So we're going downstairs to have some supper and watch some Monarch Legacy of Monsters. So cheers, me beers. Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely. Museum of Flight, East Fortune. The Museum of Flight, which is located on a former airship base and RAF airfield, has many points of interest. Not least that it was from here that airship R-34 flew to New York and back during its record-breaking flight of 1919. Aircraft on display include a Supermarine Spitfire Mark 16, de Havilland Sea Venom, Hawker Sea Hawk, 2 words, not one, they've got it right this time, a Comet, as well as a Concorde. No, as well as Concorde, not a Concorde. Concorde was one of those aeroplanes that you only ever described in the singular. The Americans refer to it as a Concorde. We always refer to it as Concorde. There are several accounts of ghostly activity at the museum, including the smell of tobacco smoke in one of the hangars, even though, actually it should be even though, there are several accounts of ghostly activity at the museum, including the smell of tobacco smoke in one of the hangars, even though nobody has been smoking. Less frequently, the apparition of a man in flying gear has also been spotted in different hangars. Unpleasant feelings have also been recorded in many places. Open April to October daily, telephone number, website. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in August 2005 and in June 2006 by the Ghost Club. I am so going to join the Ghost Club. In fact, we might even do that on the next. Might even do that on Sunday on Sunday Night Ghost Stories. Shall we look up the Museum of Flight East Fortune? The Museum of Flight East Fortune. Oh my goodness me! Here we are. Right. Let's share screen. Museum of Flight East Fortune, National Museum Scotland. So there's Concorde. Collections. Let's see what they got. Visit Museum of Flight. Yeah, okay. Conservate. I can tell what that aeroplane is. That looks like a Percival Provost. That's a Vulcan. Goodness me, have they not got a thing here of what their collections consist of? You are here. No, I don't want to see that. That's boring. Well, it's not boring. It's interesting. Oh, this is Museums of Scotland. This is absolutely shocking the way you've laid this out. I want to see what you've got in terms of what's on. No, I can't. I've lost it in every sense of the phrase. I want to know what aircraft you've got at the museum. But anyway, we'll do that another time. Poorly designed website, said the expert. Right, last for tonight. And then we're going to go and have some supper and watch some Monarch, Legacy of Monsters or Gardener's World. I'm not quite sure which. So, oh, lovely. Right, last one for tonight. Museum of Transport, Glasgow. They are tempting me, aren't they? The museum, housed in the 1920s Kelvin Hall, features a reconstruction of a Glasgow street from the 1930s, with the Regal Cinema, underground station, and reconstructed shop fronts. Other exhibits include buses and trams which were last used in 1962, as well as Scottish-made cars, fire engines, horse-drawn vehicles, cycles and motorcycles, a walk-in car showroom, and steam locomotives. I'm sold. I'm in. Parts of the museum have a reputation for being haunted, not least the reconstructed street, and there are reports of apparitions being seen. One reported as being the tall phantom of a man with a trilby hat. Other manifestations include unexplained noises, including children's voices, disembodied walking and running footsteps, the sound of a foot being dragged across the cobbles, and the screams of a girl. Apparitions have also apparently been seen in other areas, including in the car showroom, and the underground station area is said to have an especially unpleasant atmosphere at times. In the cinema, several seats have been found in the down position on many occasions, despite having return springs. Indeed, this happened to 7 seats while a paranormal investigation was in progress. Electrical appliances are also said to turn themselves off and on, and there are also reports of dark apparitions being spotted. Open all year daily except the 25th. Open all year daily except the 25th and 25th of January, and the 1st to 2nd of January. I think they mean the 24th and the 25th of December, not the. I'm not making it up. Look, that just say the 25th and the 25th of January. Anyway, open all year daily except the 24th and the 25th of December and the 1st and 2nd of January. Telephone number, website. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in January 2005 by Ghost Finders, website address, and in March 2005, in March 2007, and in February 2008 by the Ghost Club, website address, and by Spirit Finders Scotland, website address. Right, we are definitely going to join the Ghost Club. I might even do that live on Sunday. In fact, live on Sunday, I might also order my pallet splitting tool as well. So depends if I get paid over the weekend. So cheers, me beers. That's delicious. That's delicious. And we do, oops, Daisy, we do need to take out, I thought we'd emptied that glass. We do need to take our glasses downstairs to get them washed before Sunday night ghost stories on a Sunday. Right. That's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. Why? Why not? What else are you going to do on a Friday night than watch a confused man from Dudley drink ghost stories and read alcohol? You should be watching the England game. In fact, I am just going to have a quick look to see what the score is. 0-0. That's encouraging. Who are we playing? Uruguay. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, friend Adam has called me. And who's messaged me? Right. There we go. 1 hour and 14 minutes. So we are going to go downstairs. We're going to prep for supper tonight. We're going to watch Monarch Legacy of Monsters or Gardener's World. We haven't made our mind up yet. So until the next time, which fingers crossed will be Sunday night ghost stories on a Sunday as nature intended. Until the next time, it behoves me to say thank you for watching. Why? Why not? What else are you going to do on a Friday night towards the end of March than watch a confused man from Dudley with holes in his head, drink ghost stories and read alcohol? I'm looking at you folks. You can do better. I can't. I'm trapped in this tragic existence, but you can do better. Anyway, until the next time, as ever, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and please don't have nightmares. Good night. I've lost where the controls are. Let's try it again. That's a good ending to the show, that. As ever, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and please don't have nightmares. Good night.